Hello and welcome to another Busy Webinar. This is Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb. Delighted to have you here with us to talk about Facebook ad demographics, how to. So we're going to talk through how to use Facebook ads to target your different audiences and to gauge relative sizes of your audiences in your online marketing. Facebook ads can be done for a number of different reasons and a number of different ways. We're going to go through a few of the most popular ways, and of course we'll talk through a few other things, including some Facebook basics, ad basics, basically what you need to know about cost per click, cost per thousand, and all of those other kind of advertising related terms. And then we're going to get right into how to do Facebook ad demographics with an online tutorial that we're going to go through live. We're going to talk through location, demographics, interests, and behaviors, and the pros and cons of each. So as you have questions, of course, we'd love to have you ask those, and here's how to do that. I'm going to switch over to our technological window. And if you're watching the event today live from the webinar window, you'll note here that in this window where you probably have pressed play and are watching, you can click on, under number 1, Google+. So if you click on our Google+ page, if you click this link, it's going to do this. It's going to open up a different window, and then you'll see that there's a highlighted stream right here where it says Q&A and live. And then if you press the play button on here, it'll open up that button and you'll be able to preview. And I'm just going to press pause. It'll automatically start playing the video, but I'm going to press pause here for us so that we don't need to hear me twice. So if you do have questions about ad demographics or anything as part of our webinar today, as long as you're logged in on Google+, you can ask those questions by simply following that advice. Under number 1 above, click on this Google+ link. If you click on that, it's going to open up a new page. You'll click on the play button on that page, and then there's a green Ask a New Question button down at the bottom. And we'll say, ask a question here. So if you ask questions, I'll be able to see that during the event, and I'll be ticking back and forth between our windows as we go through today. And so we'll be able to see that, and I'll be able to answer your questions live during the event this way. Let's get back to our presentation and get through a little bit about BizzyWeb, who we are and what we do. We, of course, were founded in 1999. We're a website design company that focuses on 2 things, both web design in WordPress, but also on online marketing. So whether it be our BizzyWeb programs in WordPress web design or our Buzz Builders marketing programs that help you to generate buzz with your B2B or B2C business, or generate existing relationships and deepen those relationships with your customers, or simply optimizing, that's what BizzyWeb does. We have clients all over the world, and our team of 14 folks would love to chat with you. If you'd like to stop by at our Champlin headquarters sometime and visit the Hive, we'd love to have you here. We're right off of Highway 169 in Champlin, about 15 minutes out of downtown Minneapolis. We, of course, do all of these things that I mentioned before. Here's some examples of our websites: search engine optimization, content marketing, pay-per-click, ads, hosting, email marketing are all things that we're great at. And, of course, we set up social accounts for all of our clients inside of that. You'll notice our Facebook page right in the second from the front there. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because first, we'll go into some Facebook basics. So if you've always wanted to know a little bit about Facebook, but we're afraid to ask, again, if you have more specific questions, feel free to ask those in the Q&A tool. But let's get down to a little bit about why even use Facebook. Now, Facebook is really the place for online marketing for most businesses. So if you have a Facebook page, which is important to connect and differentiate on, there are Facebook profiles, but you cannot advertise and you can't be seen publicly with profiles. You need to have a Facebook page. In order to get a Facebook page set up, you simply go to facebook.com/pages and click the setup button and walk through a few steps. We have other busy webinars about setting up a Facebook page, so I'm not going to go in depth too much on that. About 1.5 billion active users. I think it's 1.48 or 49 billion users active monthly right now. And as a matter of fact, Facebook had its 900 million, had like almost a billion folks in one single day online late last month. So lots of folks on Facebook. If you're interested in connecting with pretty much anyone, Facebook is for you. And specifically, if you're looking for, or the people that are on Facebook are looking for useful, interesting, and informative content, there's text posts that you can make, of course, and some of those can be helpful. Make sure that they're focused on your client and not what you do, and that you're mixing things up. You know, as a general rule of thumb, about half of what you do online in your social media should be directly related to engaging content, engaging people in conversation, posting interesting tidbits, helpful information, being humorous or engaging in some way. 30% of what you do should be informative, whether it be details, tips, tricks, stats, other things that your clients should know. Ideas, once you've captured their attention, to prove to them that you are who you say you are and that you have a depth of knowledge that's worthwhile of working with you. And then the last 20% that you do online should be specific calls to action, not necessarily asking people to buy, although certainly that is part of the sales and marketing process. So as you look at that, the content that you share, whether it's text, photos, which are much higher in the engagement factor than text, and then videos, which is even higher yet. If you're posting on Facebook, that's one of the best ways to reach things and to reach the right people at the right times. Customers really like quick updates and fun shares on Facebook. And so if you keep it light and if you keep it connected, and if you're thinking about what your customer is really interested in and writing for them, Facebook can be a very powerful tool. All right, so let's just make sure we don't have any questions. It says the screen is blank and it says please stand by. And I will post right here because it looks like we're good now, but I'm just going to publish this note out to everyone. Deidre, looks like it's running now. Please let me know if you're still having issues. Oh, if you're still having issues, absolutely let us know. But thank you very much, Deidre, for letting me know that. And hopefully everything should be good to go now because I'm seeing everything live. I've got a different streaming window up on a separate network, and hopefully we're all good. So let me know if that's not the case. All right, so let's get into advertising. First off, let's talk about advertising basics. What is a CPM and a CPC, or an OCPM or a CPA? Well, in general, these are all advertising related terms that relate to how people see the content, or how that content, that advertising content, is delivered and what the action you're expected to take. Cost per 1,000, CPM, is cost per 1,000 impressions. That's best for overall visibility, getting eyeballs, but it isn't really a great way to get measurable results. All Facebook or any online advertising is promising to do is to get your advertisement in front of a viewer. And we all know about how well we are at noticing and taking action on advertising, especially if it's on the sidebar of Facebook. If you target your ads correctly, and if you're reaching people efficiently, it's going to stand out more for people because it's actually going to be something that they're interested in. But you do see this quite often with broader campaigns, or perhaps campaigns that aren't as dedicated to your interests, where you see something that's just completely not your ball of wax, or you're not interested in it at all. Your eyeballs may glance across it for a moment, but you're going to ignore it almost immediately. And so CPM, or cost per 1,000 impressions, unless you're doing a straight branding campaign where you're just trying to get in front of people and get seen. And sometimes in marketing, you know, it's said that you need to be seen like up to 7 or more times before people are going to take an action. I still like driving people more towards specific actions and paying for real results than the CPM model. So again, if you want to broadcast out to as many people as possible, you have a limited budget and you just want to blow some money, CPM is a great way to go. However, if you want to drive people toward an actual next step, CPC, or cost per click, is probably a better bet for you. Cost per click works if someone clicks on your ad, you pay the money, and that's really best when trying to drive traffic. But again, CPC in its most standard format isn't really about driving specific actions other than getting people to click on a link. Now, there are tracking pixels that you can use and other analytics that you can use to make sure that your clicks are actually converting. And I won't talk about those today because it's relatively advanced, but OCPM, optimized cost per 1,000, or CPA, cost per action, are also options inside of your Facebook and all advertising. And those require what's called a conversion pixel, something that's actually on the website or on landing pages, designed to make sure that the end user or the consumer of your click or your action is actually doing what you're paying your advertising tool to do. So if you're paying Facebook, you want to make sure that people are actually downloading your app or registering for your event or buying your online marketing or your online product. So those OCPMs or CPAs are very effective. They tend to be a little bit more expensive as well. Again, because they drive right to what you're going to be accomplishing or what you want to accomplish inside of your advertising. It's a little bit more advanced. Not going to talk more about it here. But again, if you do have questions on that, and if you want more specific answers, be sure to ask that in the Q&A as follows. Just going to switch back over and make sure that we're good. Looks like we're probably good because we have a whole bunch of viewers now, and I'm not seeing any new questions or concerns. But again, if you do have questions about more specifics on CPM, CPC, or really what advertising is intended to do, this is all about demographics today, so I want to dig a little bit deeper into that for you right now. So in demographics, first, there's a few things that you need to know. And in general, the way to get into your advertising is to go into the promote button on the upper right of your Facebook page. It's possible to promote individual posts inside of your Facebook timeline on your page, but for our intents and purposes, we want to get into more in-depth analytics and more in-depth more in-depth choices in the demographics. With simple promote links, they don't give you nearly as many options, and it's much quicker, much easier to set up, but there's a lot fewer dials that you can play with, and we want to get into as much as possible as far as the options that we can play with. So you want to go up to promote, and then I think you should probably go right down to Ads Manager. There are 4 options right on the top of the page, of course, whether it's promote your call to action, your website, your local business, or your page. And go ahead and choose those if that's what makes sense for you next time you're actually doing ads. But for us, since we're trying to do the most in-depth research possible, we're going to go into the Ads Manager. Once you go into Ads Manager, it's going to offer you a bunch of options. You can boost posts, promote pages, send people to website, increase conversions, whatever. All of these things are very specific and very easy to drill down on. And what we're going to do today is looking at boosting your posts, simply because it's probably one of the simplest to understand, and there's a lot less involved. If you're just trying to get your posts seen, that's one of the ways to do it. Promoting your page, by the way, and getting more likes for your page, unless, again, you're trying for a general branding or you're looking to establish yourself as a well-liked player and go for social proof, don't spend a ton of money just trying to get more likes on your page. The big reason for this is that EdgeRank has dramatically decreased over the past couple of years in Facebook pages. So if you, for example, have 10,000 followers, or let's go with 1,000 followers on your page, in the olden days, a couple years ago, you could pretty well count that 300 or 400 people, no matter what you did, would see any post on your Facebook page. Now that number is more like 30 or 40. It's more like 3 or 4% conversion rate versus 30 or 40% conversion rate on any specific posts that you make on your page. So having as many likes as possible on your page just has diminishing returns. It's not lost because we can drive people directly to specific actions, and that's what we'll talk about with boosts. Let's go ahead and dig in. So the first thing that we want to make sure that we do here is go in and connect and look at Facebook. So I'm going to go in here. It says no sound or picture now. And Deidre, if you're still seeing that there's still no sound, I'd encourage you to try to either go into the Facebook page or into the Google Plus page. And so I'm going to type that quickly. And so if there's issues, of course, this is the big Apple announcement today. So the internet's under heavy load. Usually this happens when there's a lot of competition on your particular ISP. And if your video is stuttering or having problems, that's usually on your end and not on ours. Again, I'm watching it live here, and we have folks in the office that are watching on a separate Wi-Fi network to make sure that we're not affecting our quality. So hopefully you'll be able to see it. But the good news is if you are having issues right now, you can scroll backwards and see, and you can actually just go back in time a little bit, and the buffering will stop if you back up a little bit and if you're not watching exactly live. So Deidre, apologize that you're having issues, but if you do continue to have problems, you can call us at 612-424-9990 and ask to talk to Jennifer, and she'll be able to help you as well. Let's keep going, and I want to get you into the Facebook ads. So let's go in now and simply click, as we showed in our screens, on Promote. Again, I can boost posts, and inside of all of these, I can do those sorts of things inside of my posts like this. And I can view insights on things and how people are reached. But for our intent today, we want to go into the Promote button. And instead of even going through Promote your call to action, website, or local business or page, I want to go straight into Ads Manager. Once I go into Ads Manager, I can then click on the next page. And Ads Manager is being slow. There we go. And it says loading Ads Manager. This may take a moment. It's going to give me a number of different options. So I want to create an ad. So I'm going to click on the green button up here. Oops. We're going to create an ad right here in the green button. And then it's going to ask me what I want to do. For my intents today, I am going to boost my posts. Again, we already talked about promote your page to get more likes on your page. I'm not all that excited about that anymore. And then we're good. Oh, Deidre, sounds like you're back on and you can hear. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much. She shut it down and came back on. So if you do have that issue, feel free to refresh your screen. Okay, let's get in here now. If you want to boost your posts, here's what your options are going to be. It's going to ask you to choose an objective. And so from that objective, we'll be able to stream and get some details. I am waiting for Facebook to catch up with me. Again, big internet day today with all of the Apple stuff. All the Apple fanboys and girls are dialing in to find out what the new iPhone is going to look like. But once you click Boost Posts, then you should be able to see this, and then you'll go through the campaign. Let's make sure. I'm going to shut down other windows here so that I'm not competing with myself. And I'm going to refresh this page because it's giving me a bunch of gobbledygook here, and that's not helpful. Here we go. Let's go back into Boost Posts. And then we want to select the page that we want to promote. Now, most times our clients only have one page that they manage. We manage several hundred. So of course I just need to type in BizzyWeb on this particular account. And then from BizzyWeb, I can select the posts because I'm going for post engagement that people want to look at. So top 4 SEO trends or increase your web traffic with SEO. Let's look at new post 4 videos to kickstart your social media strategy. So I want to select that, and then I'm going to continue. Once I continue, now you really get into the fun stuff. So once you're in this page, you can scroll down and then you enter your account info and how you want to pay and all that stuff. I'm not going to go into that right now for you because nobody needs to see our credit card information, of course. But now this is where you can see how many people you want to reach. So if I want to reach 2.3 million people, I'm just going to go for age 18 to 65 plus, gender all, languages no demographic. And this is within 50 miles of Champlin, Minnesota. If I wanted to go to everybody in Minnesota, I could simply type MN, Minnesota, United States, and how many people can see this. I'm zooming out, and now I'm at 3.2 million people. So you can already see how I'm starting to see how many people I'm able to reach. Now, if I wanted to browse this up, and you can go all the way up to 13, and now I'm at 65 plus. Now I'm at 3.3 million people. However, let's say that I really want people that are kind of established in their lives and careers, at least of drinking age. So we'll go with 21. And maybe I don't want to get the retirement crowd, so I'm going to go with, let's say, up to 60. So I'm dialing that in a little bit. And now note, I'm down to 2.5 million people. So I've already trimmed 1 million people out of my list. And so now I'm going to drill down a little bit further. And I think I would like to get more close. And let's just do Minneapolis. Typing that, Minneapolis, Minnesota, United States. Now I'm down to 1.7 million people. And within 25 miles of Minneapolis, that's probably a good option for me. Now, if I wanted to go a little bit further out, you can see that this is covering Champlin. Champlin is just that far out of Minneapolis. If I wanted to go a little bit closer in, maybe 10 miles, I'm outside of my current zone. So let's go back into 25. I'm still at 1.7 million people. So that's fine for me. Now, there's more demographics that I can enter right here. So this is where I'm going to dig in a little bit harder. There's fun stuff like relationships, interested in different types of relationships, friendship, romantic interests, relationship status, married, single, or it's complicated. Or I can go into education. So one example here is if I'm a realtor, I could look at new people that are married or people that are saying it's complicated, because there's a good chance with people that it's complicated that their living situation may be changing quickly. And so if I went to it's complicated and I tried to reach out, I could be looking for exactly those people that are kind of in transition. Education level, I can go into specific fields of study, schools, undergrad years, how much education people have received. So I can add that on right here. And then I can see associate degree, college grad, doctorate degree, in grad school, high school, master's degree, professional. Let's just go with some college. And that brings me down to 67,000 people. And if I also add college grad, that gets me to 890,000 people. So whether they've had some college or have graduated from college, now we know that that's a little under 1 million people in the Minneapolis, Minnesota area. Okay, so I've got those folks. I want more demographics. So let's go into work. And maybe I want to specify different employers. So if I just wanted to go to one specific employer, I could drill that in. I'm going to X that out because I don't necessarily want to just target one specific type or one specific employer. But For example, maybe I want to go to a job title of marketing. And so marketing executive, agent, and I think if I just leave this at marketing, oops, marketing management, that's fewer than 1,000 people already. Now Google's or Facebook's telling me that that's a little bit too specific, so I should try making it broader. So I'm looking for college grads or some college with marketing management. Maybe I should roll this out. Let's go into marketing and marketing agent, marketing management, marketing director. Did I say assistant? Marketing assistant. And you can keep going further and further. And now I can say owner. And that's got me up to 3,800 people, which is a nice round number. And now I want to dial this back a little bit further and get into specific interests. There's other demographics like financial, their income or their net worth, their home type of ownership. So if they're renting or if they're in a specific type of household composition, if they have children in their home, if they're empty nesters, family-based household, grandparents, housemate-based households, new parents. Let's go after new parents. That's dialed me down to fewer than 1,000 people, but now I can back out of my marketing people and let's just see how many people are new parents in the Minneapolis area. Around 100,000 people are new parents in the Minneapolis area that are college grads or have some college. And now I can dial further down into that and I can say, you know, whether ethnic affinity, generation, parents, just moms, politics, life events, anniversary within 30 days, away from family, away from hometown, friends of specific people, and I can dial that in, friends of newly engaged. So if I had a Beeble Bobble kind of a company and I was trying to reach out to people who are probably shopping for specific wedding related things, like probably getting on wedding lists, I would want to target friends of newly engaged. So new parents who are friends of newly engaged, that's probably going to bring me down underneath 4,000 or 1,000 people. I'm going to also add in, we'll kick this out, and new relationship. Okay, that's fewer than 1,000. And newlyweds, recently moved, we can add that in. That's still fewer than 1,000 people. So away from hometown, reach 28,000 people. Away from family, reach 47,000 people. So you can kind of get a gauge on what your audience size is by dialing this in. So we have now new parents who have recently moved, or they're away from their hometown or their family, or they're in a new relationship, or they're friends of newly engaged. I'm not really concerned if they're friends of newly engaged. And so I'm going to dial that back. But then you can go into interests as well. So if I go in here, I can look at business and industry. If they're interested in advertising, well, for sure, let's add that on. Potential reach 12,000 people. How about if they're interested in marketing? Bingo, perfect. That still keeps me at 17,000 people. If they're interested in entrepreneurship, great, still at 18,000 people. And then I can go further out on that. And that's business and industry. I can also look at suggestions, startup company, typography, coupons, promotion, social entrepreneurship. There's all kinds of wonderful, crazy things that you can do. Maybe I just want work-at-home parents. 18,000 people that are interested in work-at-home parenting. And then I can also browse whether it's entertainment. And if I want games, life, movies, family and relationships, dating, fatherhood, marriage, parenting, fitness and wellness, bodybuilding, diet, medication, running, weight training, yoga, food and drink. If I want people that are really interested in alcoholic beverages. For example, if I was into or trying to reach a brewery market, I could look for folks that are interested in beer, and I could dial in right to that, or distilled beverage, and I can add those. Perhaps I have a wine bar, I can add those folks, and you can dial this back in and back out and see what kind of reach you really have. If I'm looking for beverages, cooking, cuisine, cooking, baking, this is probably going to shrink things up a little bit. If they're interested in restaurants, their hobbies and activities, if they're really interested in arts and music, current events, home and garden, pets. If we want dog lovers, we can dial in dog lovers. Fish, horses, pet food, reptiles. Let's go for reptiles too. What the heck? I'm going back up again because I'm adding more interests in. Politics and social issues, travel, vehicles. If you're trying to reach and grab folks that are interested in automobiles, yay, let's do that. And that makes it 33,000 people. And then you can get even more specific by going into behaviors. So inside of automotive, if I have new vehicle shoppers that are in the market that are looking for, let's go for, let's see, Jaguars. And so if I'm looking for their search behavior, fewer than 1,000 people are looking for Jags right now. That meet all that are dog and or reptile lovers, into baking, into beer, in a new relationship, recently moved, and new parents. So probably our biggest disconnect there is we've got new parents that are probably not shopping for Jags. So I can go into a specific type of vehicle. I can look for owners or vehicle shoppers for minivans. I can go into B2B, company sizes. So if I go, I want a 10 to 49 employee company, fewer than 1,000 people. And again, it's giving me the whole list here. So I've got interests in like advertising, behaviors, 10 to 49 employees, education level, college grad or some college, home composition, new parents, life event, recently moved away from hometown, yada, yada, yada. If I go bigger, maybe that'll give me a few more people. If I go a little bit bigger than that, maybe I go a few more people. But looks like B2B and company size is not going to be helpful for me for this. So I'm just going to go back into a different behavior. Digital activities, if they're console gamers, if they do Facebook payments, or if they're page admins. So this might be a good one for BizzyWeb to target because we're trying to reach exactly those people that are already managing their marketing. If they're on Chrome, Firefox, or something else, close this out so I don't see that. And if they're expats, if they're originally from Austria, Canada, whatever, I can reach out to those folks. For financial, I can look at their banking, if they're a credit union member, a national or a regional bank person, if they're into investments, full service investors, likely investors, spending methods, if they're mostly into, or how many lines of credit they have, if they're an active credit card user, if they like debit cards, I can reach out to exactly those people. Job role, administration and managerial, let's add that in. Blue collar craftsmen, corporate executives, sure, why not? We'll go with corporate executives too. And you can dial in all the way. So media, if they're interested in radio or television, if they use mobile devices, you can go mobile devices by brand. If I just want Apple people to try and drag them away from the Apple announcement today, I can send something out on that. If I wanted to just hit Android folks and rail against Apple all day long, I can certainly do that. If I'm looking for tablet owners, I know what I'm looking for. Purchase behavior, if they do business purchases, food and drink, kids products, purchase health, store types that they shop at, residential profiles, if they're likely to move, if they're a new mover, if they're a recent home buyer. You'll see that there's some overlap here. Seasonal and events, baseball, football, hockey. If you're trying to do something around one of those or one of the fantasy leagues, you can reach out on those folks. Or travel. And so frequent travelers, business travelers, casino vacations, commuters. So let's say, what does this say for us? 20,000 people that are commuters, that have some college or college grads, that are new parents that recently moved, and that are into or interested in advertising distilled beverages, dogs, or something else. And then you can go into connections, people who like our page, who like friends of people who like our page, or apps, people that have used apps or used our apps, or events, people that are going to or coming into our events. And then you can go into advanced combinations and all kinds of other wonderful stuff. So as you can see, I've effectively dialed in and figured out the size of my market without spending a nickel on Facebook. And now I can, if I wanted to, dial in and go ahead and advertise. So if I want to reach for a daily budget of $5, it'll tell me what I want to do. Lifetime budget, if for example I have a daily or a lifetime budget of $350 that I want to spend, Facebook's telling me that I'm going to reach around 1,900 to 5,100 people out of a possible 17,000 if I set an ad duration for 30 days and spend $350. Now, if I try to dial that back and say 50, it's telling me that I'm going to reach 420 to 1,100 or to 1,100 people. But if I've dialed this in correctly, and if I can reach exactly the 420 people that I want to reach and spend $50 to do it, that can be very, very effective in Facebook advertising. Of course, I can also set different budgets for dailies, and Facebook will tell me if I want to spend, maybe let's go to $25 a day. What's that going to tell me? I'm going to reach 3,200 to 8,500 people. And then I can set a start and end date. If I only want to reach people until Friday, October 9th, I'll spend up to $750 total. It tells me what I'm doing. And then I can look at even further advanced options optimized for post engagement, daily unique reach. You're trying to reach as many people as possible. Impressions, again, this is the CPM model, so probably don't want to do that unless you're just trying to do your brand. Or clicks will send your ads to people who might click on your ads, so CPC, CPM versus CPC. Or you can go a little bit further with Facebook and say post engagement to people that were most likely to engage with your post, or you're trying to reach as many people as possible. Ad scheduling, if you only want this to happen during the day when you're open, you can look at that. And so if you want to run ads all the time, or if you want to run a schedule, only works with lifetime. Okay, so if I have a lifetime budget, then I can set this. So let's go to lifetime budget, and let's go to our old friend $350. It's going to reach that many people. If I want to run ads on a schedule, I can run it only during these times from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., for example. And if I didn't want to reach anybody on a Sunday, or if I knew that we're not open on Mondays because we're a museum or something, then I could shut off my ads for that. Or maybe I just want to do the end part of that day, so when people are figuring out what they're going to do for the next day. If I was a beer company, or if I was a restaurant, I might do specific ads running right up into the big lunch rush, or to try and bolster slower times. So you can specifically schedule exactly when you want to run these ads. So that's going to give me more specific details on reaching exactly who I am when I want to reach them. So I can do standard delivery, show my ads throughout the day, or I can look at different options, show your ads as quickly as possible, try and get as much pop for as much as possible, and then I can set my ad name. Is what it's going to look like. I'm trying to reach with 4 videos to kickstart your social media strategy, and I'm going to reach out. I'm going to spend as much as $350 to do this, and Facebook estimates that I'm probably going to reach around 1,900 to 5,100 people if I run that ad. So you can see where not only can you figure out exactly your correct demographics and reach exactly who you're trying to reach, you can actually use this for research to find out if you should be entering a market so you can figure out the market size. Since Facebook has such a prolific experience, or there are so many people on Facebook, you can pretty much use this as a good gauge for people that you can easily reach in almost any demographic, and anything that we've looked at today we can dial in. And so as you're looking at these things, this is a great way to size your market, to plan your marketing, and then to actually reach the people that you want to connect with via your marketing. So that's Facebook advertising in general. And if I wanted to actually place that order, I could simply click the green button to click this out. If I wanted this to show up in mobile feed or desktop columns, if I didn't want this to show up in desktop at all, I just wanted it to show up in mobile devices, I can do that. And that'll affect my budget and the timing as things go. But that's ads in a nutshell. And so let's go back to how to wrap up. So in general, as we wrap things up, remember, BizzyWeb can help you with any of these things. We not only do web design and hosting, but we do online marketing. And that's one of the big things that we do inside of our online marketing programs each week. We do have webinars free every Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. You're on one right now. And next week, we're going to be talking about I believe Pinterest ads. I'll pop that up in just a second, but I want to get to this first. If you haven't taken a look at your current social media and online marketing optimization and how you're looking, go to BizzyWeb.com/buzz for a 2-minute overview that's going to give you an in-depth, like 10-page report on what you can get out of your marketing and maybe where your holes are. It's actually going to give you a checklist and everything. Doesn't take any input from us. It takes about 45 seconds for you to get your results back. It's a downloadable PDF that you can show to your management, or if you are management, that you can show to your minions and have them take care of that for you. Let me go back over here for 1 second and open up BizzyWeb.com/events so that you can look at our upcoming Busy Webinar schedule. We've got ad demographics this week. We're going to talk about LinkedIn company and showcase pages next Wednesday. We're going to talk about Pinterest for business the Wednesday after that, and using Instagram for business the Wednesday after that. We have a number of other side channels that we're talking about. If you're interested in online surveys, we're going to be doing a webinar tomorrow on that. Or if you'd like to learn about Social Media 101 or 102, you can either attend at BMO Harris Bank on Tuesday the 22nd, or attend a webinar with SCORE on Social Media 102 on the 24th. If you want to grow your business with email and social media, that's on Tuesday the 29th. And of course, Wednesday's webinar, Busy Webinar for the 30th, is using Instagram. So we'd love to have you with us on any of those things. Again, if you would like to go to BizzyWeb.com/buzz and check out our Buzz Report, all you need to do from the Buzz Report page is click on I would like a Buzz Report. And underneath here, you type in your URL, a keyword that you'd like to be found for. Here's my favorite part, a competitor's URL, and then your name, email, and phone. Click scan, takes about 45 seconds to get that report back, and you're done. You'll get all of our recommendations immediately and automatically, and you'll know more on what to do. Again, I am Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb. Thank you all so very much for joining us today. If you'd like to know more about Facebook advertising, or if you'd like help with your Facebook advertising strategies, please be sure to get a hold of us at 612-4BUZZY-O. That's 612-424-9990. Or just give us a call at sales@BizzyWeb.com, or if you'd like to talk to me, you can reach me at dave@BizzyWeb.com. Talk to you very soon. And remember, at BizzyWeb, we help you generate buzz without getting stung. Have a great week.